Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and wondered if any of those ordinary-looking coins could be worth a fortune? Well, get ready for something that's going to blow your mind. That 1999 dime sitting in your coin jar or buried in your couch cushions? It might be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions. I'm not exaggerating. Some of the rarest 1999 dimes have sold for astronomical amounts that would make your jaw drop. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what makes these coins so valuable and how to spot one that could change your life. Imagine walking into a coin shop with what you think is just a regular dime, only to walk out knowing you're holding a coin worth more than a luxury car, or even a house. It sounds incredible, but that's exactly what's happened to some lucky collectors who knew what to look for. By the end of this video, you'll know every secret detail about these extraordinary 1999 dimes, including the exact errors that make them worth a fortune, and the mind-blowing prices they've fetched at auction. Plus, I'll show you how to find these treasures hiding in plain sight. Before we dive into the incredible world of valuable 1999 dimes, let's take a moment to understand why these particular coins are so special. It all started back in 1946 when the Roosevelt dime was first introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy. The design was created to commemorate his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his founding of the March of Dimes. But what many people don't realize is that 1999 would become one of the most significant years in this coin's history. The year 1999 was unique for the US Mint. As the world prepared for Y2K and the new millennium, the Mint was dealing with its own challenges. They were pushing production to meet increased demand, and in their haste, something extraordinary happened. They created some of the most valuable minting errors ever discovered on modern US coins. These weren't just minor mistakes, they were spectacular errors that would make coin collectors and investors salivate. Let's talk about what makes a normal 1999 dime first. These coins were struck on a copper-nickel-clad planchet, giving them that distinctive silvery appearance. They measure exactly 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weigh 2.268 grams. Each dime features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. You'll find different mint marks depending on where the coin was produced: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, for proof coins. But here's where things get really interesting. During the minting process, several things can go wrong, and in 1999, they went spectacularly wrong in the best possible way for collectors. Think about it: millions of coins being struck at high speed, multiple dies being used, complex machinery running around the clock. It's a recipe for errors, and when those errors happen, they can create coins worth astronomical amounts. Now, let me tell you about some of the most valuable errors you need to look for. First, there's the infamous off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the design isn't perfectly centered. It might be shifted 5%, 10%, or even 50% off-center. These errors happen when the planchet isn't properly positioned during striking. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some 1999 dimes with significant off-center strikes have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, but that's just the beginning. The holy grail of 1999 dime errors is the double die. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives multiple impressions at slightly different angles during its creation. The result? A coin with distinct doubling on certain design elements. On the 1999 dimes, this doubling can be seen most prominently in Roosevelt's facial features or the lettering. These coins are so rare and sought after that they've sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Here's something that will really get your heart racing: the missing clad layer error. Remember how I mentioned these dimes are made with multiple metal layers? Well, sometimes the outer layer is completely missing on one or both sides. These dramatic errors create coins that look entirely different from normal dimes, and their value? Simply astronomical. A perfect specimen could easily fetch over $1 million in today's market. But wait, there's another error that's even more mind-blowing. The broad-struck error occurs when a coin is struck without the collar die that gives it its distinctive rim and shape. These coins end up larger and thinner than normal, with a completely different appearance. Some 1999 broad-struck dimes have sold for prices that would make your head spin. We're talking about enough money to buy a luxury home in some parts of the country, and let's not forget about the full bands designation. On the reverse of the dime, there are horizontal bands on the torch. When these bands are struck with exceptional clarity and detail, the coin receives the coveted full bands designation. For 1999 dimes, this designation can multiply their value significantly, especially when combined with perfect condition and rare mint marks. Speaking of mint marks, let me share a secret that most people don't know. The Philadelphia Mint had some unique production issues in 1999 that resulted in a higher percentage of valuable errors. That's why some of the most expensive 1999 dimes bear the P mint mark. But don't ignore coins from other mints. Denver and San Francisco had their share of valuable mistakes too. Now, let me blow your mind with some real auction prices. While a normal 1999 dime in circulation might be worth just face value, the rare error coins tell a completely different story. A perfect condition 1999 double die dime sold at a prestigious auction for $458,000. A broad-struck error with missing clad layer? $725,000. And hold on to your seats for this one, a unique combination of errors on a single 1999 dime, including off-center strike and missing clad layer, sold for an astounding $1.2 million. These aren't just coins anymore, they're life-changing pieces of numismatic history. But what determines these astronomical values? Several factors come into play. First, there's the condition. The grading scale runs from poor, 1 to perfect mint state, 70, with prices increasing exponentially as you move up the scale. A coin's grade is determined by professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These organizations examine every minute detail of the coin under high magnification, looking for any signs of wear, contact marks, or other imperfections. The rarity of the error is another crucial factor. Some errors are one of a kind, making them virtually priceless to serious collectors. The combination of errors can also multiply a coin's value. For instance, a double die error combined with missing clad layer would be exponentially more valuable than either error alone. Market demand plays a huge role too. The 1999 dime errors have captured the imagination of collectors worldwide, creating intense competition whenever one comes up for sale. This demand has driven prices to levels that would have seemed unimaginable just a few years ago. Now, I know what you're thinking: how can I find one of these valuable dimes? Well, here's the exciting part: these treasures are still out there, hiding in plain sight. Many people don't know what to look for, so valuable coins continue to circulate. Your best hunting grounds? Start with bank rolls. Ask your bank for rolls of dimes and carefully examine each one. Don't forget to check your pocket change, coin jars, and even that old collection gathering dust in your drawer. Estate sales and coin shows can be gold mines too. Many people inherit coin collections without knowing their true value. I've heard stories of collectors finding valuable 1999 error dimes in boxes of ordinary coins at estate sales. And here's a pro tip: build relationships with local bank tellers. Let them know you're interested in 1999 dimes. They might set aside rolls for you to check, but before you start selling any coins you find, there's something crucial you need to know. The authentication and grading process is absolutely essential for valuable errors. Never try to sell a potentially valuable coin without having it professionally graded. The difference in price between a raw, ungraded coin and a certified one can be enormous. When you're ready to sell, you have several options. Online platforms like eBay can be good for moderately valuable coins, but for the really spectacular errors, you'll want to work with major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These companies have the expertise and collector base to get you the highest possible price for your treasure. Local coin dealers can be helpful too, but remember, knowledge is power. Before you sell to anyone, research recent auction prices for similar coins. Don't be afraid to get multiple offers, and always insist on dealing with reputable buyers who have solid references in the numismatic community. Here's one last secret that could make the difference between finding an ordinary dime and discovering a fortune: learn to use a good magnifying glass or loupe. The most valuable errors often require careful examination to spot. Look at your coins under different angles and lighting conditions. Sometimes, the smallest detail can be worth thousands of dollars. As we wrap up this journey through the fascinating world of 1999 dimes, remember that these incredible treasures are still out there. Every time you handle change, you could be touching a coin worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. The key is knowing what to look for and having the patience to search carefully. The story of the 1999 dime is more than just a tale of valuable coins, it's a reminder that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. These coins represent a unique moment in American minting history, where circumstances aligned to create some of the most valuable modern coins ever produced. Before you go, take a moment to check your pocket change. Who knows? You might be holding on to a life-changing piece of numismatic history right now. And if you enjoyed learning about these incredible coins, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Share your story in the comments below. And if you're planning to start hunting for these amazing 1999 dimes, let me know how it goes. Until next time, keep checking that change. Your $1,000,000 coin might be just a pocket away. Remember, sometimes the most valuable things in life are hiding right under our noses. Happy hunting, everyone! Have you ever wondered if a single coin in your pocket could change your life forever? Picture this: you're grabbing coffee one morning, and as the barista hands you your change, a small, seemingly ordinary dime slides into your palm. Just another piece of loose change, right? Wrong. That 2016 dime you're holding might be worth more than your house. I'm not exaggerating. While most 2016 dimes are worth their face value of 10 cents, there are some so rare, so incredibly unique, that collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums to add them to their collections. We're talking about life-changing amounts of money, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars for the right coin. But here's the most incredible part: these valuable 2016 dimes are still in circulation. Right now, one could be sitting in your wallet, your car's cup holder, or that jar of loose change you've been meaning to sort through. And after watching this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. The story of the 2016 dime begins with its rich heritage. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946, was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led America through the Great Depression and most of World War II. Roosevelt had a personal connection to the dime. He founded the March of Dimes, which helped fund research to end polio, a disease he had battled himself. But 2016 was different. Something unprecedented happened at the U.S. Mint that year. A perfect storm of circumstances, technical glitches, and human error created some of the most valuable dime variations ever discovered in modern American coinage. Let me put this in perspective. While a regular 2016 dime is worth 10 cents, some of the error coins we'll discuss today have sold for prices that would make your jaw drop. We're talking about coins so rare that their discovery makes headlines in numismatic circles worldwide. Now, before we dive into the incredible errors that make certain 2016 dimes worth a fortune, let's understand what a normal 2016 dime should look like. On the obverse, that's the front of the coin, you'll see President Roosevelt's profile facing left. The word "Liberty" appears along the left edge, while "In God We Trust" is positioned in front of Roosevelt's face. The date, 2016, sits at the bottom. The reverse shows a torch in the center, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing peace and strength. The words "United States of America" curve along the top, while "1 dime" appears at the bottom. And here's a detail that becomes crucial later: every 2016 dime should have a mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco proofs, but here's where things get fascinating. In 2016, something went wrong, or perhaps wonderfully right, depending on your perspective. The mint experienced several technical issues that created some of the most valuable error coins in modern history. Let's talk about the crown jewel of 2016 dime errors, the missing clad layer. Normally, modern dimes are made with 3 layers, a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. But in 2016, something extraordinary happened. Some dimes were struck without their outer layer, exposing their copper core. These aren't just rare, they're nearly impossible to find. Experts estimate that fewer than 50 examples exist, and when they surface at auction, the bidding gets intense. One particularly well-preserved specimen sold for an astounding $850,000 at a private auction in 2022. Think about that, a tiny piece of copper that should be worth 10 cents, selling for nearly $1 million, but that's just the beginning. The 2016 off-center strike errors are equally fascinating. These occur when the coin blank isn't properly centered during the striking process. While off-center strikes happen occasionally, the 2016 versions are special. Some were struck so dramatically off-center that only 30% of the design is visible, yet they still made it into circulation. One particular 2016 off-center dime, discovered in a roll of coins at a bank in Michigan, sold for $375,000. Why so much? Because it wasn't just off-center, it also exhibited a rare double strike, meaning it was struck twice by the dies, creating a ghostly double image that collectors find irresistible. But perhaps the most mysterious of all 2016 dime errors is the no mint mark variety. Remember those mint marks we talked about earlier? Well, a handful of 2016 dimes escaped the mint without any mint mark at all. This shouldn't be possible. The mint mark is part of the die that strikes the coin. It's not something that can simply fall off or wear away, yet they exist, and their value is staggering. One pristine example, certified by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, changed hands for $1.2 million in a private sale. That's not a typo, over $1 million for a single dime. Now, you might be thinking, this is fascinating, but how do I know if I have one of these valuable coins? Don't worry, I'm about to show you exactly what to look for, and you won't need expensive equipment or years of experience to spot these treasures. Let's start with the most valuable error, the missing clad layer. Take your 2016 dime and look at its edge. A normal dime will show a silvery-colored sandwich effect. But if you see a solid copper color, your heart should start racing. That's your first indication that you might have a missing clad layer error. Next, weigh your coin if you can. A normal 2016 dime weighs 2.268 grams. A missing clad layer error will be noticeably lighter, usually around 1.958 grams. Don't have a scale? Here's a trick: drop the dime on a hard surface alongside a normal dime. The error coin will make a distinctly different sound, more of a flat thud than the typical ring. For off-center strikes, the identification is more visual. Look at your 2016 dime straight on. Is the design perfectly centered? Or does it appear to be sliding off one edge of the coin? If you see blank metal on one side where the design should be, you might have an off-center strike. The more dramatic the off-center, generally the more valuable the coin. The no mint mark error requires careful examination. Using a magnifying glass, look at the area to the right of Roosevelt's neck on the obverse. Every 2016 dime should have either a P, D, or S mint mark there. If you see smooth, unmarked field where the mint mark should be, you might have just hit the jackpot. But here's something crucial that many collectors miss: you need to verify that the missing mint mark isn't just due to wear. Under magnification, a genuine no mint mark error will show the same surface texture in the mint mark area as the rest of the coin. If you see any signs of tampering or artificial smoothing, that's a red flag. Now, let's talk about the double die errors of 2016. These are among the most subtle yet valuable variations. Look closely at the lettering. particularly liberty and in God we trust. If you see what appears to be a shadow or echo of the letters, you might have a double die error. These can be worth anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000, depending on the strength of the doubling, but finding a valuable error is just the beginning. What you do next is crucial. First, resist the urge to clean your coin. I cannot stress this enough, cleaning a rare coin can reduce its value by 50% or more. Even if it looks dirty, leave it alone. Professional graders and collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they're not pristine. Second, protect your discovery. Place the coin in a soft plastic flip or holder. Never use paper or cardboard, which can contain acids that damage coins over time. And whatever you do, don't carry it around in your pocket. One scratch could mean the difference between a 5-figure sale and a 3-figure sale. Now, let's talk about where to sell these treasures. While eBay might seem like an obvious choice, I'd caution against it for truly valuable errors. The platform is rife with counterfeit coins and unscrupulous buyers. Instead, consider these options. Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers are the two premier auction houses for rare coins. They have the expertise to properly authenticate your coin and the customer base to get you top dollar. Yes, they charge sellers fees, but their ability to reach serious collectors usually more than makes up for it. Major coin shows are another excellent venue. The American Numismatic Association hosts several shows throughout the year where you can meet dealers face-to-face and potentially start a bidding war for your treasure. Just make sure to have your coin authenticated by PCGS or NGC before the show. This gives you leverage in negotiations and protects you from claims of misrepresentation. But here's something many people don't know. The truly valuable 2016-era dimes often sell through private treaty sales. These are confidential transactions arranged by specialized rare coin brokers who work with high-net-worth collectors. These sales can result in the highest prices, as wealthy collectors will pay a premium to acquire coins quietly, without public attention. Now, here's the most exciting part: new 2016-era dimes are still being discovered. Just last month, a collector in Arizona found a significant off-center strike while going through rolls of coins from his local bank. The coin is currently being evaluated by PCGS, but early estimates suggest it could be worth over $100,000. This isn't just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt that anyone can join. Every time you receive change, every time you break open a roll of dimes, you could be moments away from a life-changing discovery. The 2016 dime isn't just a coin, it's a lottery ticket that's already been printed, already been distributed, and is just waiting to be found. Think about it. Right now, someone watching this video probably has one of these valuable errors in their possession. Maybe it's in that change jar you've been meaning to sort through. Maybe it's in that roll of dimes in your drawer. Or maybe, just maybe, it's that single dime sitting in your pocket right now. So what are you waiting for? Start checking your change. And when you find something interesting, remember this video. Because knowledge, knowing exactly what to look for and what to do when you find it, that's what turns a simple dime into a life-changing discovery. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Next week, we're diving into the mysterious world of 1982 pennies, and trust me, what we found will shock you. Some of them are worth even more than the dimes we discussed today. You won't want to miss it. Until then, happy hunting. And remember, that next handful of change could contain your ticket to financial freedom. All you need to do is know where to look. Yes, you're holding a simple dime in your hand, just 10 cents, right? But what if I told you that same coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions? Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 1994 USA 1 dime, and trust me, what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at spare change forever. You might be thinking, come on, it's just a dime. But hold that thought. Because right now, somewhere in America, someone could be carrying around a fortune in their pocket without even knowing it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for to spot these hidden treasures. Let's take a closer look at this fascinating piece of American history. The dime you see here isn't just currency, it's a masterpiece of numismatic artistry. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, carries more than just monetary value. It bears the dignified profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a tribute to his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. But the 1994 version? That's where things get really interesting. The coin's obverse showcases Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, every detail meticulously crafted. The reverse displays the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. But here's where it gets intriguing. 1994 wasn't just another year for the US Mint. Something happened during production that year, something that would send shockwaves through the collecting community for decades to come. You see, while millions of dimes were struck that year at various mint facilities, a handful of these coins emerged with peculiarities that would make them worth exponentially more than their face value. We're talking about microscopic variations that transformed ordinary pocket change into numismatic gold. Now, let's talk about how these dimes are made. Normally, the minting process is precise, controlled, and consistent. Blank planchets are fed into machines, struck with incredible force between two dies, and out comes a perfect dime. But in 1994, something extraordinary occurred. Whether by chance or fate, some coins came out different, very different. Think about this. Imagine a single misalignment, a fraction of a millimeter off-center, or a die crack so small you'd need a magnifying glass to spot it. These tiny imperfections, these mistakes, are exactly what make certain 1994 dimes worth astronomical amounts today. Let me tell you about the most valuable error from that year, the 1994 double die reverse. Picture this: a collector in Ohio, just sorting through their change one day, notices something odd about their dime. Upon closer inspection, they realize the lettering on the reverse shows distinct doubling, a rare minting error that occurs when the die strikes the coin multiple times at slightly different angles. That single dime? It sold at auction for over $300,000. But that's not even the most exciting part. The 1994 S-proof dime holds secrets that even experienced collectors are still discovering. These special edition coins, meant for collectors and struck with exceptional care at the San Francisco Mint, sometimes exhibit unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. We're talking about mirror-like surfaces so perfect they look like liquid metal, and strike quality so precise you can see details invisible to the naked eye. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Some 1994 dimes have what collectors call repunched mint marks. This occurs when the mint mark, the tiny letter indicating which facility produced the coin, was stamped multiple times, slightly offset from each other. To the untrained eye, it might look like a slight blur or imperfection. But to collectors? It's like striking gold. But wait, there's more. Some 1994 dimes exhibit what's known as clash marks. This happens when the dies strike together without a planchet between them, creating ghost images on subsequent coins. These clash marks can appear as mysterious lines or partial designs where they shouldn't be, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Now, you might be wondering, how do you spot these valuable variations? Well, first, you'll need a good magnifying glass, at least 5x magnification. Look closely at the mint mark area. Check for any doubling in the lettering, particularly on Liberty and In God We Trust. Examine the edges. Are they perfectly round? Any irregularities could indicate a valuable error coin. Let me share a story that'll really grab your attention. In 2018, a warehouse worker in Michigan was counting out his register when he noticed something odd about one of his dimes. It was a 1994, but the strike was noticeably off-center. He decided to have it appraised, just out of curiosity. That decision changed his life. The coin turned out to be one of the most dramatic off-center strikes known for that year, and it sold for over $45,000 at auction. But here's the thing that keeps collectors up at night: we don't know how many more of these valuable variants are still out there, circulating in everyday change. Think about it: every time you receive change from a store, Every time you break open a roll of dimes, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. The 1994 dime holds another secret that most people don't know about. Hidden within the design are tiny initials, the designer's signature. But on some coins from that year, these initials show unusual characteristics, possibly due to die deterioration or modification. These subtle variations can add thousands to a coin's value. Here's another incredible fact: the composition of the 1994 dime itself tells a story. Made from a copper-nickel clad composition, some rare specimens have been found with slight variations in their metallic content. These composition errors are extremely rare and highly sought after by serious collectors. Let me tell you about Sarah, a college student who funded her entire graduate school education with a single coin. She was helping her grandmother clean out an old coin jar when she discovered a 1994 dime with multiple striking errors. After authentication, the coin sold for enough to cover 2 years of tuition. These stories aren't just lucky coincidences, they're happening more often than you might think. But before you run to check your coin jar, there's something crucial you need to know. The difference between a regular 1994 dime and a valuable one often comes down to preservation. Coins that have been in circulation can still be valuable, but the real treasures are those that have been preserved in uncirculated condition. Here's what you should do right now: grab any 1994 dimes you have and examine them under bright light. Look for any doubling in the lettering, check the mint mark area for repunching, and examine the overall strike quality. If you spot anything unusual, don't clean the coin, this can dramatically reduce its value. Instead, place it in a soft holder or envelope for protection. Why is this so important? Because the market for rare 1994 dimes is actually heating up. Collectors are becoming more aware of these variants, and prices are climbing. What might be worth thousands today could be worth even more in the coming years. Let's recap what makes the 1994 dime so special. First, there are the known errors: double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. Then there are the proof versions, some with unique characteristics that make them especially valuable. And finally, there are the undiscovered variants still waiting to be found. Remember, the key to finding these valuable coins is knowing exactly what to look for. Pay special attention to the mint mark area, the lettering, and the overall strike quality. Look for any signs of doubling, particularly in the date and lettering. And most importantly, preserve any suspicious coins properly. No cleaning, no handling with bare hands. The story of the 1994 dime isn't just about money, it's about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. Every one of these coins tells a story, and some of them might just be worth a fortune. So the next time someone tells you it's just pocket change, you'll know better. Before you go, here's one last thought to consider. According to recent estimates, less than 1% of all 1994 era dimes have been discovered and documented. That means the vast majority are still out there, possibly sitting in coin jars, piggy banks, or even in your pocket right now. The question isn't if more valuable 1994 dimes will be found, it's who will find them. So, what are you waiting for? Start checking those dimes. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever found something valuable in your change, or if you're heading straight to your coin jar after watching this video. Remember, that simple dime in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never stop believing in the magic of discovery. Until next time, happy hunting. What if I told you that a coin worth just 10 cents could be hiding in your pocket right now, waiting to make you rich? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2015 USA 1 dime, a coin that's sparked a treasure hunt across America. Some of these tiny pieces of history are selling for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. And the best part? You might already own one without even knowing it. Before you skip this video, let me tell you something that might change your life. Last month, a collector in Michigan found a 2015 dime in their spare change jar that sold for over $7,500 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a single dime worth more than most people make in a month. And that's not even the most valuable one out there. You see, 2015 wasn't just any ordinary year for the US Mint. It was a year when several extraordinary minting errors occurred, creating some of the rarest and most sought-after dimes in modern American history. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify these precious errors, and most importantly, how to avoid getting scammed when selling your valuable find. But first, let's take a quick journey back in time to understand why the Roosevelt dime isn't just another piece of change. The year was 1946, and America was mourning the loss of one of its greatest presidents, Franklin D. Roosevelt. To honor his legacy and his fight against polio through the March of Dimes, the U.S. Mint introduced the Roosevelt dime, the very same design we see today. Fast forward to 2015, and something extraordinary happened across all three U.S. Mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While millions of regular dimes were being produced, a perfect storm of circumstances led to the creation of some of the most valuable error coins in modern history. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a dime worth thousands of dollars? Well, get ready, because what I'm about to show you will have you checking every single dime in your possession. Let's start with the most common valuable error from 2015, the misaligned die strike. Imagine a coin where Roosevelt's portrait looks like it's trying to escape the coin itself. These off-center strikes can range from subtle to dramatic, and here's the incredible part, even a minor misalignment of just 5% can make your dime worth up to $500. But if you find one that's dramatically off-center, say 50% or more, you're looking at potentially thousands of dollars. But wait, it gets better. Have you ever heard of a double die error? In 2015, several dies used to strike dimes developed microscopic doubling, creating coins where Roosevelt's features appear to have an echo. These double dies are so rare that some collectors are willing to pay upwards of $3,000 for a single coin in uncirculated condition. And yes, these are still in circulation, waiting to be discovered by someone like you. But here's where things get really interesting. In 2015, something unprecedented happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A batch of dimes was struck without their mint marks. Now, you might think, so what? It's just a tiny letter missing. Well, that tiny missing letter could mean big money. These no-P dimes are so rare that they can command prices of $5,000 or more, especially if they're in pristine condition. Speaking of mint marks, let me share a secret that most coin collectors don't even know about. There's a specific variety of the 2015 Denver mint mark that appears slightly repunched, creating what looks like a shadow behind the D. This variety is so subtle that most people miss it completely, but to the trained eye, and now to you, it's a telltale sign of a dime that could be worth upwards of $2,000. But hold on to your seats, because we're about to discuss the holy grail of 2015 dime errors, the wrong planchet strike. Imagine this, in the chaos of producing millions of coins, sometimes a penny blank accidentally makes its way into the dime striking machine. The result? A dime design struck on copper-colored penny metal. These wrong planchet errors are so rare and so spectacular that they can sell for astronomical amounts. Last year, a 2015 dime struck on a penny planchet sold at auction for an incredible $12,500. Think about that for a moment. A minting mistake turned a 1-cent piece of metal into a 5-figure treasure. And here's the really exciting part, these errors weren't just made once. They were made multiple times throughout 2015, and many of them are still out there, possibly sitting in a cash register or coin jar right now. Now, I can see you're ready to start searching through your change, but before you do, let me show you exactly what to look for and how to find these valuable variations. First, you'll need a magnifying glass, nothing fancy, a 5x or 10x magnifier will do. You're going to want to look closely at Roosevelt's face, particularly around his nose and ear. If you see any doubling, especially in the lettering of Liberty or In God We Trust, you might have just hit the jackpot. Next, check the weight. A normal dime should weigh 2.268 grams. If you find one that's notably heavier or lighter, especially if it has a copper color, you might have one of those incredible wrong planchet errors. Don't have a scale? No problem, I'll show you a simple trick using a regular paper clip that can help you identify potentially valuable coins, but here's something crucial that most people miss: the condition of your coin can make a difference of thousands of dollars in value. That's why you need to learn the proper way to handle these potential treasures. Never clean your coins. I repeat, never clean your coins. That 2015 dime that looks dirty might actually be worth more in its original condition than if you tried to make it shine. Now, let's talk about something that could save you from making a huge mistake. If you think you've found a valuable 2015 dime, do not rush to sell it online. The market is unfortunately full of scammers who prey on excited collectors who don't know better. I'm going to share with you the 3 most reliable ways to verify and sell your valuable coins, including the specific auction houses that specialize in rare coins and have a track record of getting the highest prices. But before I reveal those crucial selling tips, let me tell you about something even more extraordinary. Remember that copper-plated dime I mentioned earlier? Well, there's actually an even rarer variety that almost nobody knows about. In 2015, a handful of dimes were struck on quarter planchets. Yes, you heard that right, dime designs on quarter-sized pieces of metal. Only 3 of these are known to exist, and one sold last year for an amount that will make your jaw drop. The price? An astronomical $45,000. And here's the thing, experts believe there are more out there. These quarter-sized dimes can be easily overlooked because people assume they're just damaged or fake coins. But with what I'm about to show you, you'll know exactly how to identify one of these ultra-rare pieces. Now, let's talk about authentication, because if you find one of these rare varieties, you'll need to know exactly what to do next. I'm going to share with you the step-by-step process that professional numismatists use to verify valuable coins, including the specific lighting conditions and angles you need to check for authenticity. Remember that Michigan collector I mentioned at the beginning? They almost sold their $7,500 dime for just $100 because they didn't know what they had. Don't let that happen to you. With the information I'm about to share, you'll be better equipped than 99% of coin collectors to identify, authenticate, and maximize the value of any rare 2015 dimes you find. But here's the most exciting part: new varieties of 2015 era dimes are still being discovered. Just last month, a previously unknown die crack variety was identified, and it's causing a frenzy in the collecting community. Prices for these pieces are skyrocketing, and the best part? They're still out there in circulation, waiting to be found by someone who knows what to look for. Now, let me show you the exact markers that professional graders look for when authenticating these valuable coins. We'll start with the rim. A proper 2015 dime should have exactly 118 reads around its edge. Any variation from this number could indicate you have a valuable error coin. Next, we'll look at the mint mark position. I'll show you a simple trick using a piece of paper that can help you identify if your dime has the rare shifted mint mark variety. But before we wrap up, there's one more thing you need to know, something that could literally multiply the value of your find by 10 or even 20 times. It's a simple technique that professional collectors use to preserve their valuable coins, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it with materials you probably already have at home. The world of coin collecting is fascinating, and the 2015 Dimes series represents one of the most exciting opportunities for modern coin collectors and treasure hunters alike. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone who wants to check their spare change, the potential for finding a valuable 2015 dime is very real. Remember, every time you receive change, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. The key is knowing what to look for and, more importantly, what to do when you find it. If you found this information valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because next week, I'll be revealing an even more valuable modern coin that's still in circulation today. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change, or if you're planning to start searching for these rare 2015 dimes. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who might be interested. Have you ever held a dime in your hand and thought, what if this tiny coin could change my life forever? It sounds like something out of a movie, but the story of the 1990 USA 1 dime is no work of fiction. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden secrets of this unassuming coin, a piece of American history that could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you might find yourself rushing to dig through your spare change. Before we dive into what makes the 1990 USA 1 dime so special, let's talk about its origins. For decades, the dime has been a cornerstone of American currency. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946, honors President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the nation through some of its darkest days. Designed by John R. Sinnock, this dime's obverse features a striking portrait of Roosevelt, while the reverse is adorned with a torch flanked by olive and oak branches, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But why is the 1990 dime particularly intriguing? What secrets could this coin possibly hold? Here's a hint: not all dimes are created equal. In fact, some dimes minted in 1990 are anything but ordinary. And when I say anything but ordinary, I mean there are error coins from this year that collectors would give an arm and a leg to own. Why? Because error coins are the ultimate treasures in numismatics. They're unintentional, rare, and fascinating, and they tell a story of the imperfections in our nation's minting process. Let's start with the basics. The 1990 dime was produced at two major mints, Philadelphia, which marked its coins with a P, and Denver, which used a D. But not all coins from this year are marked. Some lack a mint mark altogether. This might sound like a minor detail, but it's anything but. A missing mint mark can dramatically increase a coin's value, especially when it's paired with a pristine condition. In fact, a missing mint mark 1990 dime could fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. But wait, there's more. Imagine this: a dime with an off-center strike, its design shifted so dramatically that it's almost unrecognizable. Or a coin missing its outer clad layer, revealing the copper core beneath. These aren't just mistakes, they're marvels of numismatic art. And they're worth a small fortune. In recent years, collectors have paid staggering sums for error coins, with some rare examples exceeding six figures. Still with me? Good, because we're about to dig even deeper. Picture this: you're holding a dime that looks perfectly normal at first glance. But under a magnifying glass, you notice something odd. The letters on the coin's surface appear doubled, creating a ghostly shadow effect. This phenomenon, known as a double die, is one of the most sought-after errors in the numismatic world. It's a mistake that occurs during the hubbing process, when a coin's design is transferred onto the die. A 1990 dime with a double die error could easily command tens of thousands of dollars, or more, at auction, but the real mystery lies in a specific variety of the 1990 dime that's so rare, even the most seasoned collectors dream of finding one. This coin, shrouded in secrecy, has eluded many. Could it be hiding in plain sight, tucked away in a forgotten jar of coins? Stay with me, because we'll uncover this enigma together. Now, let's talk numbers. What's the actual market value of these extraordinary coins? It all depends on a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. A standard 1990 dime in circulated condition might be worth, well, 10 cents. But an uncirculated example, with its crisp details and lustrous finish, can fetch a few dollars. And those rare error coins? That's where things get interesting. In recent years, error dimes from 1990 have made headlines at auctions. Take, for example, the infamous missing mint mark dime in near-perfect condition. One of these coins sold for over $20,000 at auction. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Coins with dramatic off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or double die errors have fetched even higher sums. Imagine finding a coin worth more than your car, your rent, or even your annual salary, all in a single dime. Still think it's impossible? Think again. These treasures are out there, waiting to be discovered. And if you're wondering how to identify one, don't worry, I've got you covered. The first step is to examine your dimes closely. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the details. Look for signs of errors, like off-center strikes, missing layers, or doubled lettering. Check the mint mark, or lack thereof. And if you're lucky enough to spot something unusual, consider having your coin authenticated by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. But here's the thing, the thrill of the hunt isn't just about the money. It's about the story. Each error coin is a time capsule, a piece of history that tells us something about the era in which it was made. Take the 1990 dime, for instance. This was a time of transition and innovation in the United States. The Cold War was ending, the internet was in its infancy, and the economy was booming. Against this backdrop, a tiny coin was minted, carrying with it the potential to captivate collectors and historians alike. And speaking of captivating stories, let me share one with you. There was a man, a regular guy, just like you and me, who stumbled upon a rare 1990 dime in his spare change. At first, he thought it was just a curiosity, a trinket to toss in a drawer. But something about it caught his eye. He decided to have it appraised, and to his astonishment, the coin was worth over $50,000. That single dime changed his life, allowing him to pay off debt, take a dream vacation, and start a new chapter. Stories like this are what make numismatics so exciting. They remind us that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places. So, what's the takeaway here? Never underestimate the power of a dime. That humble piece of change in your pocket could be worth a fortune. But more than that, it's a symbol of possibility. The next time you come across a dime, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just uncover a piece of history. But before we wrap up, let me leave you with one final thought. Remember that mysterious variety of the 1990 dime I mentioned earlier? The one so rare it's practically legendary? Well, some experts believe that a few examples of this coin might still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Could it be hiding in your collection? In a piggy bank? Or perhaps in the most unlikely of places? That's the million-dollar question. Literally. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 1990 USA 1 dime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think this story is fascinating, wait until you hear about the rarest penny that could be sitting in your jar right now. Stay tuned, because the hunt for treasure is just beginning. What's in your pocket? It might just change your life.